should have made that a video. Checking on Nintendogs after 12 years.
12 years of not touching Nintendogs just to see how they are.
You should have recorded that.
You could have made at least a good 200,000 views on that. That's like a good.
No, I recorded a short video, so I showed Kiara. She was just like, "Why?" I was like, "They were thirsty and hungry." I was like, "No."
You sick fuck.
Put your video games away, Peter. It's too much violence. It's gonna rot your brain.
You should be telling me that. This is pure fucking
You're a
violence.
lost cause. Your older brother can play. Just put it away, though. Go do your math.
Peter.
Huh?
And that's real. And that happened.
I know it was real.
I was like, "Yo, is this legit?" Like,
fucking killed
it's a giant fucking mosquito that just sucks Snorlax up, just like.
It's really intense too.
I was like, "That's disgusting."
Like Snorlax is huge, but Buzz will.
Damn it, guys, focus. No more Pokemon.
Alright, I got you. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Improvatory, the podcast that tells stories through improv. It's officially episode 13. Damn, we went so far.
I have an idea.
This is episode 13. And for those who have been listening this far, thank you.
Run away.
All right.
We have officially wasted your time.
In honor, rather, of the 13th podcast, the story this week is about the 13th colony of the United States in the year 1769. Now, the 13th colony was New Jersey, as you well know. 1969 was 200 years, the ground that we all sit on at this very moment.
Unfortunately.
Now, on this day, 200 years ago,
We know the normal history, but here's the secret history we didn't know about. The war that we've had against those from above. Aliens from Mars. So they rained down on us, coming in these giant pods, and started vaporizing a lot of people.
colonists versus aliens.
We're in Trenton.
See, but the thing is, though,
Load up the muskets, please.
see, the thing is, those that did not get vaporized but did die, they came back as the undead. So now the colonists are dealing with zombies and aliens.
And the British Empire?
Nah, at that point,
That's
at that point, the British and the Americans started joining in together.
George Washington.
So, but as this war is going on, we're going to focus on the very first settlement in New Jersey that had fended off the attack. Trenton.
On one of the coldest nights in Trenton, as Washington gathered his men into the cabins, his men were freezing. Some of them were dying from hypothermia. Each person was coughing up blood and tuberculosis.
That's disgusting.
Nevertheless, the men were determined to strike back at the alien Martian invaders that had been spreading the zombie virus across their colony. So they waited until the 26th, when they would gather up on their rowboat with their cannon and sail across to the Martian encampment and take them by surprise. So, it was really cold that day, so they have a little trouble loading up the boats, the little rowboats with their heavy metal cans and all that, but they get all their supplies out there and they load up, and Lieutenant Peter runs up to the commanding officer, George Washington, and says, "Hey, Mr. Sir, how you do there? We're all ready to get on with the Martian invasion, but there's only one problem. We can't find Sergeant Ryan anywhere."
And then George Washington stays silent for a good moment and asks him, "Are you okay?" I tap him on the shoulder. He turns around and he said, "Hell no. We must go on a journey to find Sergeant Brian." I asked him, "Sir, where do we go?" He said, "Where the aliens least expect it."
Lieutenant Peter, we need Sergeant Brian. He's crucial. He had the battle plan to sneak into the Martian camp. Without him, we can't conduct this invasion in the morning.
He had the
We
boat.
need to find him tonight. Gather up your 2 best men and meet me by the boats, and we will track down Sergeant Brian. So, Lieutenant Peter goes recruit his 2 best men, privates Anthony and Deshawn, for this mission. Yeah, obviously privates Anthony and Deshawn are young and very eager to prove themselves to the commanding officers, so they gather up all their gear and they're like, "Yeah, let's go. Hey, we're recruits. We got this."
And I was like, let me drive the boat.
So we go over to the boat, and Private Deshawn gets to drive the boat because he asked nice and called it.
As we're sailing across the Delaware, I asked Private Deshawn, "Where are you taking us?" "Destination is this way, in the west." "No, it's in the east."
I was like, well, I don't know my directions. I just wanted to drive the boat.
So as we're sailing and we're looking at the map, suddenly you hear a gunshot in the distance. And before we know it, a bullet passes straight through commanding officer Washington's head. He falls off the boat.
And we were like, oh, what just happened?
And Peter asks, "Are you okay?"
So more
It's like
bullets
he's-
start flying towards us, hitting the side of our boat and poking holes in it. So we say, "Shit, we need to get to land."
"Stay strong, men." "Deshawn, drive the boat even more, faster."
George Washington is dead. He's so strong. He was gonna tell me a story about how he chopped down a tree. Now I'm never gonna know it.
Just chopped it down. It's not that interesting.
And then all you see rise from the water is a giant Martian warship.
A giant Martian named Moto Moto.
Yeah, that's what they call the machines. They're called Motos.
And in its mouth, the corpse of Commanding Officer Washington as it chomped down on it and split it in 2.
Should we-
So we land on the ground and we try to gather what's about us. We managed to pull like some food supplies and some weapons off the boat before it sank. We capsized because all the holes in it.
And we're trying to go as fast as we can because the Moto is coming toward us.
Right. So we sprint into the deep woods that's nearby. And once we get into the deep woods, we're all panicking, but we all, Private Anthony says, "All right, hold on, let's take a second. We need to look at this map and figure out where we are." Commanding Officer Washington's gone. We still have Lieutenant Peter, and we still need to find Sergeant Brian. Otherwise, we can never launch that attack on the Martians in the morning. So we look at the map, and we try to pinpoint our surroundings. We see like a landmark. Lieutenant Peter, knowing being a master star navigator, determines their location, and he says, "Guys, I think you've ended up in the old ruins. For decades, the last time anyone was here was before the Martian invasion, but we thought this ground was lost. We thought they took it over, but there's no one here. The ruins are empty."
And then I look ahead and I see the ruins in the distance, and I said, guys, even though, well, we would have thought that nobody's been here for a while, but it's a whole horde of zombies there now.
Are you sure?
I'm very positive.
Do they have big classes, or are they only the little ones?
Oh, well, we only see one class of them, so hopefully there's nothing more.
Do they run fast?
If they see us.
But so we see the horde. And they're, basically on like the bottom floor, right, surrounding the ruins. But we notice that in one of the taller buildings, in the center of the building, there was a light coming from like a fireplace or like a candle or something. And obviously, zombies don't need lights. We talk amongst each other and we're like, well, Sergeant Brian was missing. His last assignment was somewhere near these deep woods. He must have stumbled upon this zombie horde and ran. So our best bet get to that light.
So, I warned everybody because I'm the expert on these zombies because I've been I've been on the field within this war, and I told them that as long as we keep our footsteps quiet, we should be fine because they are the zombies go off of echolocation. So if we're loud, then it's over. But the problem is there's snow, so it's going to be a little tough.
Alright, so is it like soft snow? Shit! We're making too much noise! Get to the ruin!
So we start running, and we're using our muskets, firing at them while they're running fast at us.
You gotta reload like it takes like a minute. You gotta reload. Our hands are really cold. So realistically, we each only got one shot.
So we tried to save it.
And even then, they're zombies, so they don't really do much. So we're running, and one grabs me by the ankle and pulls me down. No! Help! Help! Lieutenant Peter! He got me!
Then I run over to Private Anthony. I curb stomp the zombie on the wall. After I curb stomp him, I grab Anthony and I carry him fireman style. Run! Special recruit Anthony.
Special recruit edition.
So we're running in the snow, heading towards the tower. I got the musket, and I got one shot I haven't used yet. So I'm at the tower. I'm like, hurry, get to the place. And all you see is the whole horde just running through the snow.
So as I'm running,
Wait, right there. There's an oil keg. Shoot that. Wait till they all get past. So all the zombies. So we passed an big oil keg left over from some old machinery, and all the zombies chasing us. We get to the tower and we start heading up the staircase. We bust through and start heading up the staircase. That's literally right there. And they all start. They run past the oil keg, and recruit Deshaun, zombieologist, takes a single shot with the musket and fires. Causes an enormous eruption that engulfs the area in flame. Zombies one weakness.
giant forest fire.
Which is probably a problem, but we're in the tower.
And plus it's cold out, so it's keeping us warm.
Yeah.
And it's war. War never
But
changes.
it smells really bad because you're burning zombies.
Yeah.
It's awful.
That's okay, because global warming doesn't exist yet.
So we're inside the tower now, and it's like
making our way up towards where we saw the light.
it's like a giant spiral stairway going up.
And as we traveled up the stairway, I couldn't help but hear something coming down the staircase. So I tell my special forces, "Oh, do you hear that?" And then
I didn't hear anything either.
then all you see is a barrel rolling down the staircase. We hop over.
Don't.
We hear a slight voice of Brian in the distance. He's near you guys.
Sergeant Brian, is that you throwing barrels? Wait, he calls out. Lieutenant Peter, that's you?
I'm like,
I've
yeah.
been throwing barrels as protection against these zombies for a day now. Okay, well, we're here for you.
You're in the presence. You're here now.
What's up, guys? What took you so long?
Damn, Sergeant Brian, Commanding Officer Washington is dead. What happened to you? We need your battle plans for the Martian invasion. We can't.
I went to go take a shit, and then somehow I ended up here.
God damn it, Lieutenant.
There's a lot going on here, man.
Alright, fuck it, let's go. Let's go before more zombies show up.
And then suddenly we hear down below at the base floor that several zombies had broken through that survived from the fire.
Now they're just flaming zombies.
And then, so what I do is I look out the window and we see, and I'm like, guys, and then you just see another class zombie appear.
Who's at least 15 feet tall.
That's a big ass nigga.
15 feet.
That's big.
No, we're in a tower.
We're in a tower.
So this was like a super juggernaut Martian
Yeah.
zombie that had combined like a dead Martian body had engulfed itself with a human body, and they formed this super zombie when the virus spread. So this one, so with this zombie virus, you know that the bigger they are determines how long they've been a zombie. So this one had grown 15 feet, which means he had been infected on day 0 of the virus spread. So he's marching toward us, leading his like zombie army. He's giant, and he's got like a big, like he's using a tree trunk as like a club. And he starts swinging it at the base of the tower, making the whole thing shake while we're inside it. So we know when we hear the zombies below us, we can't go out from the bottom, and we've got the big giant zombie outside in the building. So there's only one way to go up. We keep climbing to the top of the tower.
So we're climbing to the top.
We see Mace behind the big 15-foot zombies, a bunch of huge horde of 300 plus zombies just marching towards us. So I look at Peter and say, "What are we going to do?"
And as I look past the horde, I see the giant Motomoto approaching the tower slowly and scanning the area grounds for Lieutenant Brian.
This is another stage of zombies that we're dealing with now. So there's 3 stages now. And this one, their herds being guided by their alien masters. It's heading towards us, and we're definitely surrounded now, because not only one Motomoto appears, but 3 of them. So there's 4 of them and a whole march. So definitely our surprise attack is going to have a very big problem now.
They open crazy door and nothing else.
Okay, we don't want shit then. No, we gotta get out of here. There's only one hope. Now, while the Martians had brought the zombie virus with them, because it was kind of like how the colonists or Europeans brought diseases over, almost unintentionally, right? Because the natives that they brought to just hadn't developed strong immune systems. So when the Martians landed during their invasion, they brought disease, and this disease spawned into the zombie virus, as we know. So the Martians are not aligned with the zombies. So at that moment, Special Private Recruit Anthony had one last ditch effort for him to do. He pulls out a whistle. And this whistle he had pulled off the corpse of a Martian soldier the month before. And he knew that this was how they communicated at a high frequency. He was told by Commanding Officer Washington, still alive back then, rest in peace, that this whistle would attract them to wherever they were. It was kind of like what's it called? SOS beacon. So he blows the whistle, and almost instantly, flying machines made of metal devices, things, zoom up on top of the forest, overlooking the situation, and they see the zombies, and they can detect the location of the whistle now that it's been blown, and they start lighting up the field of zombies with their Martian technology laser spears. So the giant zombie takes his tree trunk and he swings it at there's like 10 or so Martian UFOs. And he swings it at them, and they just evaporate. Like it's gone.
Evaporate?
Yeah. Evaporate.
Yeah.
It's just gone. And then they start shooting their lasers, and they annihilate most of the zombies. And what are left are like kind of scattering away because the area is so engulfed in like heat that it drives them away. Temporarily, we're all cheering like, yeah, the plan worked. But now we realize we brought the Martians down upon us. So, and they think that they're coming to save one of their own. So the flying saucers all land. And while they're descending and they're landing, we know we have to get out of it. So we look around for anything that we can use. And we find some old curtains. And we're like, all right, this is it. We gotta get off this rooftop somehow. So Sergeant Brian takes the curtain and he ties it up into like a little paraglider thing. And he shows everybody else how to do that because he's a master fabricator. He's whatever. He's a master toolsman. All right.
I make stuff.
He's good with his hands. So he shows us all how to make paragliders out of the curtains, and we jump off the rooftop and parasail to the back of the tower where the UFOs.
And then when they land, they look around and they're like, "Yo, where's Private Sean?" And then they see since I'm afraid of heights, and there was already a spare rope going hanging down the tower, so I slid down that. I was like, I can't do it. So I slid down and I started running towards them.
And then we hear the marching, the clicking, getting closer. Which roughly translates to, "Yo, where's Brother Jonah at?" I know that's his whistle. And so we got the Martians on, so and Special Recruit Anthony ditches the whistle. Throws it into like the nearby so throw the Martians off a little bit, buy them more time. So they start running. So where Sergeant Brian had left his boat from when he journeyed over to the other side of the Delaware River. And we load up the boat, and all four of us are there. We got Brian, he's got the plans, and we head back. Now, when we get there, there's nothing. Destruction.
The entire place was laid to waste.
The Martians had arrived, and they had destroyed the camp. They had killed the people.
And had captured some of our surviving kin.
All of our friends we had ever known were in that camp that we grew up with, fighting the Martians. Were gone. It was only us four now. So not knowing what to do, we look around, and especially Recruit Anthony's like, "Lieutenant Peter, you're the highest rank now. What do we do?"
As I'm thinking, I walk around the rooms. Or where my room was. I pick up a bottle of whiskey.
And a burnt portrait. A picture that he shows the rest of us. And Anthony repeats, "Lieutenant Peter, what do we do?" And Lieutenant Peter takes a swig of the whiskey and he turns around the burnt portrait and he says, "We go to the one man who's our last hope."
So then as we think of plans, Peter grabs his pigeon and grabs a note and attaches it to the bird and sends it off.
To Paul Revere, to spread to everybody else.
To get the information over to Thomas Jefferson about the Martian invasion. And he writes only a few words.
SOS.
The calm has fallen. And Lieutenant Peter takes out his notebook, which is his journal log full of quests, and he crosses out the quest that says, "Find Sergeant Brian." And fills in a new quest that says, "Survive."
And as we all take a shot of the whiskey, we look into the distance of the Delaware River, and we see the Martian mothership appear from the sky. The war is not over. It's only
never over.
It's just begun.
Part 2 coming May 2020.
Yeah.